Aye.
Mr. Madison,
Aye.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Ms. Singh Allen.
Aye.
Thank you. That's unanimous. Moving on to number 2, Elk Grove Charter School petition to renew. Mr. Murray.
Thank you, Madam President. The Elk Grove Charter School, a dependent charter of the Elk Grove Unified School District, is seeking to renew its position for a 4th time. The original authorization was in 1999, and the petition has been renewed in 2005, 2010, and 2015. In accordance with board policy and California Education Code, the board is asked to conduct a public hearing about renewing the Elk Grove Charter School petition. Principal Mark Levine will make a recommendation for action to the board at the June 30th board meeting. Tonight, we are requesting a public hearing in the matter.
Thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing by calling on Ms. Pinkerton to read any public comment regarding the Elk Grove Charter Schools renewal.
There are public comments regarding the charter schools renewal.
There are none? Is that what you said?
There are
Oh.
approximately 4, I believe, 3 or 4.
Excellent. You'll read those now, please?
Yes. Yeah. This particular comment is, there's no name. When teachers at Elk Grove Charter School sign a contract, they are not informed that their years at Elk Grove Charter will not count for seniority purposes if they transfer to another school within the district. Elk Grove Charter is using temporary contracts to meet its needs at the expense of unsuspecting new hires. These teachers sign a contract with EGUSD, receive their paycheck through EGUSD, and receive benefits through EGUSD, but do not get tenure status through EGUSD. This makes no sense. The administrator at the school is not forthcoming with any of this information. Teachers are told by the administrator that their years will count towards service when, in fact, they only count towards years on the salary schedule. In addition, often at times, there are teachers at the school who are timesheeted and want contracts, but are told by the administrator that contracts are not available. They later magically become available for other teachers and or what is convenient for the administrator. There are too many games being played at the school, which is why the teacher turnover at the school has become high in recent years. I am asking the district and EGEA to please step up and take a look at what is happening at the school. Teachers are not able to speak out because they do not have tenure and because of fear of retaliation from the administrator. The next comment is anonymous. Concerning the Elk Grove Charter School petition renewal, as a teacher, I was not given an opportunity to add any comments or concerns. Mr. Levine made a policy prior to the 2019/20 school year that made the hybrid model of teaching independent study and workshops mandatory for full-time employment. In October 2019, Elk Grove Charter Schools Advisory Council heard comments about the legality of the hybrid model. For example, per Ed Code 51749 and 44865, teachers must consent to teaching independent study because the job requires the teacher to assign, teach, reteach, and grade general education and core subjects that the teacher may or may not be credentialed to teach. It would be helpful for the Elk Grove Unified School District Board to read those 2 Ed Codes and decide whether the hybrid model is legal for renewing the charter's petition. Per these 2 Ed Codes, other school districts in the state have teachers sign a consent form prior to assigning them to teach independent study. The next comment is also anonymous. Including Elk Grove charter teachers into the district community, but denying them rights is unfair employment practice. Element M says, quote, certificated EGCS employees have no rights whatsoever to district positions or employment, end quote. Teachers wishing to transfer to another school are allowed to transfer, but must wait until transfer round 2 for no logical reason. They lose all seniority except 1 year while doing so. This is even if they have significant years at Elk Grove Charter. On paper, they look brand new and without much experience. Their time served won't protect them from layoffs due to downsizing, and it loses any ability to speak to their level of expertise. Teachers in general in any district, county, or state usually do not limit their entire careers to just one school. And sticking it out at Elk Grove Charter is not smart. Leaving, however, it isn't always a choice if you were never given tenure. It makes no sense. The fact that Elk Grove Charter teachers are the only disenfranchised group without any claim to longevity or seniority, no matter how long they have been loyal and effective educators at the site, is a travesty. Upon signing the contract, nobody informs these teachers about the lack of rights they are agreeing to when compared to the rest of the contracts in the district. Why the double standard? How can this happen in today's time and be okay? Without an effective system of oversight operating within the district, how will things ever change and become fair for these teachers? This broken system only works toward the best interest of administration at Charter. And the last comment is also anonymous. Although the agenda claims Elk Grove Charter School teachers participated in creating this charter, I was not once invited to participate. Yet I was a teacher at Elk Grove Charter School. WASC, LCAP, yes. The charter, never. The charter should specifically say how many years you worked at EGCS before getting a contract. Many of the women did not get a contract after they had worked at EGCS. Instead, men got them for working fewer years. Additionally, the principal discriminates based on the male elite athlete. He calls it the Volo Sports Academy of EGCS. Mr. Levine discriminates against pupils on the basis of the characteristics listed in Ed Code Section 220, gender, when female students have expressed an interest in playing soccer. He has denied them that opportunity. He has closed off the only girls' restroom in the school so that the soccer boys could change in the girls' restroom after practicing. According to the basic function of the principal is supposed to assure a positive learning environment for the students and staff of the charter school. I left because of the repeated microaggressions Mr. Levine made toward me and other members of the staff, particularly women. I was not the first woman to leave the staff because of him, especially my last year at EGCS. He created a toxic environment in which I did not feel safe. My mental health suffered. I am leaving this anonymously because I fear for my livelihood since I am a primary support of my family, but I have to take a stand against this injustice. That completes the public comment.
Ms. Albiani?
Pinkerton, yes.
The public comments that are submitted anonymously, I would like for us to look at a policy in these Zoom meetings, because in a live, yes, you can submit anonymous comments, but if this was a live meeting, we could receive comments, but we don't read them out anonymously, even though that feedback is allowed. So, and then just the last series of comments have nothing to do with the agenda item. So it's just, as it pertains to the application itself. So I just wanted to be on record that I just think the whole idea of submitting anonymous comments in general for a Zoom meeting is problematic, mainly because we wouldn't allow it in a live situation. Although you are allowed in general through our various mechanisms submitting anonymous testimonies via email, online reporting, and so forth. But I just think that it sets a bad precedent, perhaps when we do go back to a live meeting. So I just wanted that, especially the tone of the last series of emails that I just don't think were appropriate in this section.
Agreed. Mr. Hoffman? Oh, Mr. Hoffman, please. I'm open for comment. May I make one quick comment? Process, can we ask our legal if we can require names to read public comment?
Yeah, I don't think we can. It's been my experience. I'll follow up with legal, but the blue slips that we use at the regular meetings, we ask for names, but people aren't required to fill that information out. You can't require it. Most of our folks do. Person doesn't give their name, you do get to see them. So it's you're not completely anonymous, but requiring the name isn't. I'll confirm it, but it's. I don't think it's legal.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Singh Allen. Now, does the board have any comments about the presentation?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Mack.
Yeah, Madam President, I just want to echo Ms. Bobby Singh Allen's comment too. I think some of it was not appropriate based upon what's being presented tonight it just appears there's more grievances that should have been heard elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there are no other questions about the presentation, we will move on. I would like to close the public hearing. Did you wave your hand, Mr. Fortuna?
Yes, I did. I agree with my colleagues, but I have one question. And that is, one of the statements made was that the teacher was not asked to participate in the development of the application. Is that, from doing other ones, my understanding is teachers do that, but are they required to do that?
It would be there could be a variety of reasons why a teacher might not have been asked for that in general. And Mr. Levine's with us. I'm sure that he put this information out to all of his staff and his advisory council, but there could be various reasons why somebody may not be able to participate.
Okay,
Not a requirement that everyone.
that was my question.
There we go. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'd like to speak on this also. Was there a civil rights issue brought up to our attention, and what's our obligation to address that?
Mr. Hoffman?
I can address that.
Oh, Mr. Riley, even better.
Legally,
The issues and the concerns and the complaints that were read out have been submitted as complaints and have been addressed. All those matters have been addressed.
prior to this meeting,
Yes, throughout the last few years
what,
through the complaint process.
are we gonna be privileged to see those?
I can give you an update in a future closed session item under employee discipline. Yes.
And why weren't we informed about this earlier?
I don't want to disclose what has been discussed in closed session, but
I'm not asking you that.
if you have some questions, I can certainly address those in a future closed session item.
Thank you. It's a personnel matter. I appreciate your discreetness.
That's exactly right.
Thank you very much. Moving on to number 3, a public hearing of the Elk Grove Unified School District Special Education Local Plan
Excuse
Area.
me.
Yes.
Did we complete the item?
Oh, I am sorry. I neglected to close public hearing and announce that this item will be brought back for approval at the June 30th, 2020 board meeting. Thank you, Mr. Murray. Thank you, Mr. Levine. Moving on to number 3, a public hearing for the Elk Grove Unified School District Special